It's been a little while since I posted my last longer form video like this, and I've got some really exciting news. Basically this whole week, a couple of things happening, and I've just got 4 dot points here which don't really make sense. I'll just read them out first and then go through each one with a little bit of context. I'll keep this fairly short. So number 1 is I'm launching my online community this week. Number 2 is an events launch as well. I'm going to be hosting events coming up. I'll explain a bit more about that as well. Number 3 is K-pop Demon Hunters, which is a bit of a deviation from everything else here. And number 4 is Founders Podcast. So let's just jump right in. I'm just mainly doing this as a kind of self-indulgent video, more of a documentation and update rather than anything super valuable. And it's also just to get me, talking, practicing, uploading, all of that. So number 1 is the community launch, which is the biggest news for this week. And I'm launching a school community, like Skool, the online community platform. A free school community for now, free for a limited time. And then I'm going to switch to a paid model. I'll explain why in a bit as well. But basically, my whole mission with this channel, with all the educational content, it's always been to help young men create stronger relationships, build stronger connections. But I didn't have, beyond short educational videos and stuff, I didn't really have a direct tool to help with exactly solving that problem. I didn't have something that I wasn't really building connections and helping people build connections with each other, rather than just giving them a couple of things to do on their own. I can barely speak right now. But I wanted to, this has been in the works for a while. I was hesitating a lot before because of some logistics and cost stuff. But I wanted to have a community online, which would be the closest thing to what I would have wanted when I was going on this journey myself. When I was, obviously I'm still learning, but when I was making the biggest transformation from realizing how important connections are and how important that was to my own, understanding relationship with myself and with the world around me, and to the point where I am now, where I've gone through so much fucking trial and error, so many, 3 or 4 years of intense efforts to address this one primary pain point in my life. So the amount of knowledge, information, trial and error, fucking random lessons, experiences, stories that I have around this topic, addressing this one singular pain point, is disproportionately high compared to 99% of other people my age or around this age group. Because I've gone from fucking rock bottom in terms of socialization, not with my speech ability. So that's something I want to address very clearly upfront as well. I have never had issues with speaking, or at least thinking and communicating. The desire to communicate and my ability to communicate have been a natural gift that I have massively improved over time. But the actual act of emotionally connecting to people and being able to put myself out there, it's been fucking 0 to 100 over the last 3 years, basically. Specifically, the biggest change over the last 12 to 18 month-ish, 1.5 years. So that's what this community is going to be for. I'm going to have there's actually so many features I want to implement into this. So it's going to be quite a bit of work moving forward that I have to build out. And it's finally given me a very clear grind, which is good. Because I need clarity, otherwise I'm a fucking little dopamine monkey, right? I get distracted really easily, even when I do these videos, even when I talk, you can probably tell. But the community is going to have, regular weekly events, regular weekly meetups, catch-ups, challenges, reviews, all of that. Live calls with me, with the rest of the people in there. It's basically what I've been doing with my round table in my own core tribe, my closest friends, but on a bit of a larger scale, open to the public, open to my viewers for the first time ever. This will be a couple of other features like challenges. There's going to be exclusive educational content there, mostly in the in the form of like programs and challenges and ever evolving tasks and like tailored guidance. I'm not the guru, I'm not specifically a coach. I might explore that, but I don't even want to consider myself the guru. I don't even know why some of these things work, but I know that I have tried and done so many things, from listening to countless podcasts, reading so many books, watching so many videos, trying it on my own, like thousands of conversations with strangers in front of the fucking state library, a cold approaching for like 4 hours every Friday for half a year, like 6 months. I went into sales as a full-time job just because I was so scared of talking to people. I knew that if I made this my full-time occupation, 8 hours a day, fucking 5 days a week, I would get better at talking to people and more comfortable and more capable. And that's exactly what happened. And I have so many little tips and tricks that I can give, like bits of insight and perspectives. And just this energy as well, this enthusiasm about connection, and this optimism, an aggressive, loving optimism that I can give to the people in here and help everyone cultivate for themselves. So that's what that community is about. And I do want to mention the thing about starting out free for now, because right now the value would be fairly low. The exact value is mostly in being an early member of this community. So you're going to only have couple of other people here first. It's to encourage people to come in, but also, these like founding members would be like, you can form a much closer relationship with the other people there because there's not that many people in the first place. But it's free because I haven't built out that many things yet. I haven't got workshops in there. I haven't got a bunch of courses or a bunch of posts or a bunch of information in there yet. So it's mostly going to be creating connections and asking for advice from other people, and also hopping on the weekly calls and meetings with me and other members. That's what the community is. For now, it's free. Later, it will be paid, a small monthly subscription fee, because primarily I want to weed out the non-serious lurkers. The people that just, like, I'm sure you've seen the fucking thousands, hundreds of thousands of these like self-improvement or mission-based like focused Discord servers, which start out fantastic, but then end up with so many silent lurkers in there, just sitting there, fucking doing nothing but detracting from the vibe and the focus and the intention and the sincerity of the group. Because now we've just got a bunch of silent onlookers. It takes away from the vibe. It takes away from the trust and the tightness of a real community, a real band of brothers, which is what I want here. I want everyone to be... I don't want anyone outside of the arena. I don't want any bystanders and watchers and fucking... The whole point of the community is to make my audience no longer just an audience, but participants. And not even participants. I want fighters in the arena with me together, brothers in arms, side by side. That's what we will do for each other. I will be somewhat of a leader, but not really. Like, we are leading each other. We're leading each of our own lives, and we're collaborating in this arena together. So we can fight through the obstacles of connection together one by one, and sharing the resources and tips to everyone else. That's what it's for. No room for none of these fucking audiences and just like passive onlookers. No room for any of these critics from outside of the arena. No, I only want the man in the arena. So I'm building my fucking arena. And I'm setting up the walls. There are no audience seats in this arena. It's just the grounds. It's just the lab. It's just the symposium. And so that's why it must be paid in the future. Also, another obvious thing, I want to earn money. And the reason I want to earn money, firstly, I want to fucking make a living for myself, but more importantly, for the purpose of this community, is the fact that I no longer want to be distracted by some other job. I no longer want to be distracted by the need to show up to some other work and not focus the entirety of my life on the one thing that I care about most right now, which is this mission, which is helping young men build stronger connections. This is my true passion. This is why I can speak like this to the camera. This is everything that I think about. And yet I have to devote my time and attention and deprive the world of this gift of mine and deprive the world of this capacity to build something truly useful and meaningful here, to go serve some other cause that that I still enjoy, but it's not my calling. It's not my calling. The more I can truly make this a viable financial stream for myself, the more I can pour my entire fucking maniacal obsession towards this one thing and make the best content, the best communities, the best events possible to help you guys and myself reach the levels of connection that people didn't think were possible before. That's only possible when I can give 100% of myself to this cause and not be beholden to some external task that has nothing to do with helping young men build stronger connections. So that's why it needs to be paid, to filter out the bullshit, to filter out the silent lurkers, the distractions, and also so that it filters out the distractions from my life so I can produce higher quality content for the rest of us, for the people who are doing the paid program and for the people who are outside of this paid community, for the 99% of people who will get the free content, which will always remain free, at a higher level. So I can produce at a higher level. So I can hire people, fucking hire. So I can get more people on my team, so I can get help with this, so I can make the highest quality, most useful things possible. That's why it needs to be paid. That's the biggest update of this list of 4 things. So next thing is kind of goes hand in hand with that main community is events. So I will be opening up more of my regular events to you guys, to the audience, to the viewers. I have hosted a couple of different events already. They've been absolutely fucking incredible and such a pleasure for me. I didn't realize how much I enjoyed and loved hosting for other people, facilitating connections and events like this. The feedback has been incredible, and just like this has been such an unknown calling for me as well. And so I wanted to open this up to the public, and there's a very particular angle which I won't really get into right now of why I think my events, there's a particular way I want to do my events. And it's because I've been to a couple of other great activities, events hosted by other people, but there were a few crucial things missing that I found aren't that hard to fix. Like, it almost takes less work to make a better event for my purposes, right? Obviously, different events serve different goals. But for my purposes of making stronger making stronger connections, and for my purpose of running workshops, kind of 2 different types of events here, I've got a pretty good idea of what to do, and for the first time I'm going to start opening these up to the public first, and we'll move fast, we'll iterate, we'll learn as much as we can from all of them. This will be free first, later I will introduce free and paid events, so that there's always something accessible. The educational content always going to be free, and the events will always have a free option as well. So everyone can come in. I never want the monetary bar to be the thing that kind of excludes people. Everyone is entitled to stronger connections, or the ability to create stronger connections. The whole point is so that this is all... I'm speaking to the young men who were like myself, who maybe are skeptical about this, who maybe don't have the means to pay for fucking crazy courses or crazy workshops or anything like that. So a low-cost community and then some paid events. Everything else, free education, free events. That's the 2 main things. Number 3 is, I only cover this very briefly because I want to make proper videos about this, not necessarily about K-pop demon hunters, but I want to touch on this kind of weird movie. So basically, K-pop demon hunters, I just watched it this week. I finally gave in. My girlfriend prompted me to watch this on Netflix with her. And I used to actually be a massive, massive K-pop fan. But I'd very intentionally moved away from that over the last like 2-3 years. Like fully kind of cut it out from my life. So I thought, judging by the name and by how it looked, I thought this movie was going to be like cringe as fuck. Like I thought it was going to be dog shit. But you know, we wanted something mindless to watch while eating dinner. You know, I was just with my partner and we were just going to eat dinner, watch something mindless and kind of upbeat. So I'm like, okay, sure, let's just play it. See how it goes. So that was my perspective going in, and it was so much better than I had expected. Not my favorite movie by far, but so much better than I expected. And still pretty cringe. But again, I still enjoyed it. And one of the things I noticed is one of the characters, which anyone who's watched it will probably understand what I'm saying. Like, one of the characters, other than the fact that he's like handsome as fuck, you know, it is an animated like fictional movie, but this character is very attractive conventionally and is very capable. But also there are certain things that he did which I noticed made him so much more effective at connecting with the female lead, with the other characters, and also with the audience. I realized that, like, wait, this fucking K-pop Demon Hunters movie had some very, very practical, good lessons on connection and forming stronger relationships through vulnerability, through pacing, through the way you present yourself and communicate to this other person. It was so obvious to me, but I didn't know if that was like a common thread that other people latched onto. And I was talking to my partner about it, or other people who watched it, like no one really seemed to catch on to the fact that this was happening right in front of them, which is part of why they ended up liking this character a lot, or part of why they ended up liking the movie a lot and making it feel a lot more like impactful or genuine. Like, there are certain things that certain characters do which are textbook connection, I don't want to say hacks, but connection methods that I really like to champion, which I was surprised to see in a movie like this, and I really appreciated it. So moving forward, I kind of want to do more like breakdowns of, you know what, I'll just leave it there. You can kind of already see where I'm going, but I think I'll leave it there, and I think I'll just like lead with an example of something that I end up doing. I don't want to just like say all my plans out here right now. I'll work on it first. I've got the idea. You already have a basic understanding of what I was going to say anyways, but I'm going to refine it and actually just release a video on that. Okay, and finally, number 4, Founders Podcast. This has been, well, I've been taking a bit of a break from a lot of the sources of input into my mind, into my system. Like, I'm normally juggling multiple different podcasts, books, videos, and I've been succumbing to like scrolling social media as well, like Instagram. You know, I obviously have it because I need to post and I need to like stay on top of things and be online, but I've still fucking succumbed to the endless scroll of the feed. So I've been a lot more diligent about confining my input sources to very trusted and approved inputs. And Founders Podcast has been basically the one input source which has dominated 95% of my content consumption over the past 2 weeks. And it's been so amazing. Like, this is the most excited I've ever been about a podcast, and I love podcasts in general. It's given me a lot of inspiration, energy, and practical tips. Mostly the energy. The energy that it gives me is, this is like intentional brainwashing. And I want to make a video on this separately as well. I do this a lot. I do a lot of intentional brainwashing when I'm in periods of either creative slumps or self-esteem slumps, or like just general lack of discipline or habits or whatever it is, whenever I'm floundering or struggling or wavering, and I understand where I would rather be, I do a period of kind of like a monk mode. I'm doing my own version of a monk mode right now. It's more like what I just described, cleaning up the inputs and purposefully brainwashing myself to a certain mindset and state of being. And that's what Founders has done for me. It is a podcast studying history's greatest entrepreneurs. And the more I listen, the more I see these hundreds of different incredible businessmen, creators, inventors, leaders over history, a large proportion of them basically feel like the same fucking person. It feels like the same soul reincarnated over and over again in different forms, in different industries, in different time periods, in different roles. But it's the same soul. Not even the exact attributes, not even the exact like actions or sayings or beliefs or whatever, but it's like, I know this sounds super vague, but it's basically the energy. Something about the energy, something about, if you want to call it, it's kind of like their beliefs or their mindset as a whole, their worldview, their perspective. That feels unchanged. All of them had to possess this maniacal focus and a degree of delusion that outlasted their doubts. Self-delusion, which outlasted their self-doubt. And yeah, I think that's exactly what I need right now. Founders has been incredible, and it's also given me some very pragmatic inspiration as to what I'm going to do next, which is also, I slightly hinted at it a bit earlier when I was talking about Kpop Demon Hunters. Founders has given me an incredible idea of what I want to do in terms of content moving forward and how I want to learn and share and teach from here. So this was a very long and rambly, like 20-minute update. I said I wanted to keep it short. This is kind of already a shortened version. There's so many thoughts in my head. I didn't even really get into everything. But this is the practice that I promised I would do. I had gone too long without the long form podcast style, like videos like this. And I just needed to do it. So that's an update. I'm super, super fucking excited for this week and the coming weeks. I'm also going to be moving pretty soon. So there's a lot of big change in my life. At this point, because of how public I've made this, I have to make this fucking work now. It either works or I die trying. Like, there is the fact that I've put this out there so much. Everyone knows. Everyone around me knows. I've had no shame this time in showing my work to everyone. People ask about it. Sure, I'll tell you. Like, I used to hide everything. No longer, man. And the added pressure is definitely real. Because I know people can see that I have potential. I know people can see how far this could go. They don't see just how far I could really, really get to. Like, only I can see that vision right now. But everyone who really gets time with me can understand that, like, okay, Jack's onto something here. And I know for a fucking fact, I don't care if this sounds cocky or whatever, but then this is doubly high pressure, because now, if I still fuck up, then it's all on me. The idea was there, the timing was there, the platforms, the technologies, I have everything, the people around me, the personality, the ability, everything. I have everything it takes to take this all the way. So if I fuck up now, it's because I just didn't do the work. It's because I just didn't pull through. It's because I just gave up. Whatever it is, it's all on me now. And it's my burden and my pride, my blessing and my curse. This is like the most amount of public exposure / pressure I've ever had. But it's also the most belief I've ever had on something that I could do with my own hands. So that's it for this update. I'll see you guys very soon. A lot of things are happening. Don't be a little bitch. Catch you next time.